What's poppin', everybody? It's your boy SnowyKurama, and we are here for the Monotype Rainbow League, or MRL, or Monoegg. I don't remember what the egg jokes were about, but I am not alone. I am here with my co-coach, teammate, player, and cutest baby in the world, Destiny, or Vampira. Say hi.
Hi, everybody.
So we decided to go just the team up for this league because why not? Thought it would be fun.
Yeah.
And we also wanted to record this. I know I was recording WPF for a bit, but I honestly wasn't having too much fun in that league, so now that's just kind of a, let's just battle for fun type. So I wanted to record a different league, and I decided to do this one. So I have played in this league once before. Season 1, I joined in halfway through the season. I took over for the fighting team, something Timbers, I think. I know it was 3 T's. And I think, yeah, something like that. I want to say that I ended up in like 6th or something. I know I didn't do, I was very middle of the road, but this time we are here, we are drafting, and we are very late. This is currently during, I want to say this is going to be uploaded during week 4 of the league, so...
Oops.
Yeah, oops. Just a little bit of a rundown on the league. This is a monotype league, which means we all will pick a type first, and then in the snake order, we will pick our mons. We need a 1 tier 1, 1 tier 2, 2 from tier 3, 1 from tier 4, 1 from tier 5, 1 mega evolution, and then 4 free spots with 400 points each. I believe that these points are just, let's take a look. Yeah, tier 1 is 180, and then tier 2 is 120, and then it kind of goes down by 40 until tier 5 and tier 4 are 20 points apart. And then mega tiers, mega tier 1 is 20 points, tier 2 is 0, tier 3 is negative 20, which means you get 20 additional points to draft stuff, and then mega tier 4 is negative 40, which means you get 40 extra points to draft stuff.
Ooh.
Any other rules we need to go over?
No idea.
So because of tier requirements, if let's say there's only one poison type in tier 1, right? Let's say it's Toxapex is the only tier 1 poison type. I'm not sure if that's true, it's just a Pokemon off the top of my head. That means that the water player cannot take Toxapex because it's the only thing that the poison player can take. Same thing with Volcarona. It might be one of the only tier 1 bug types, that means the fire player cannot take it. That goes for megas and everything else as well, just in case.
Makes sense. Sounds fair.
And playoffs is the top 4 players. We are allowed to use Hidden Power, and Baton Pass is a dry pass, and no Z moves. And we can't use Damp Rock, but you'll see in a bit that we don't really care about Damp Rock. So, with all that going away, we're going to go ahead and get into our team. My Discord app decided it wanted to reset, so I had to open that up again. And we are also in the Opal division, which seems to be Division 2 or B Div or whatever you want to say. The middle one, middle of the road. So we're fighting all of our middle of the road players, or at least somewhere close to it.
Moderate, if you will.
Yeah, that. So we are, where's our name? We're 8th out of 10, which means we will be able to pick from, let's see, 18 types. So we'll be able to pick from 10 types.
I think so.
Nope, 11, because 18, 17,
16.
16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Yeah, from 11 types. So the first type to go was Psychic, and then Normal, which I thought was very interesting that Normal was picked very early. Fairy was picked next, which I think is fair. Water was picked right after that, which, I mean, of course Water was going to go early. I'm surprised that it didn't go first, but I would have probably picked Psychic as well if I had the chance to. Poison was picked after that, which was very interesting. Electric after that. Grass was after that, which I thought probably should have went later on, if at all. And then it was our turn, and Baby wanted to use what type?
I think fire.
Yeah, she wanted to use fire, so I was like, all right, we'll pick up fire. I think I was torn between dragon and another type.
I thought I remember flipping a coin, but I know I wanted fire or water, and obviously water got picked pretty early, so.
Right, it was dragon and flying I was also wanting to pick, because flying is quite versatile, and dragon just basically hits things really, really hard unless you're a fairy type, because dragon doesn't really have any resists besides steel. And even then, there are ways around it, and steel wasn't picked yet. So that's kind of why I was wanting either one of them plus psychic, like I said. But she wanted to use either fire or water, and honestly, I was good with using fire. Sun can be very fun, as you can see in our later matches.
And it rhymes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I guess it does. Right after that was rock, which I thought was interesting since rock isn't very good in Monotype. But I don't even know how well this person's doing in the league. Then after that was dragon. So that's all of the types taken. We are fire, and let's get into what our team looks like. So going through the list, obviously since we are fire monotype, that means we are the only team that can pick fire types. So at this point, it is more important to pick Pokemon that are of a different type. So like your fire, rock, fire, electric, dual type mons. You can just leave all your single type mons for later. So I want to swear I'm looking for it. Our first pick was Volcanion, I believe. Looking through the list. Nope, our first pick was actually Rotom Heat. And the reason I wanted Rotom Heat so bad was because it has Levitate, which means it is a ground immunity, as well as an electric type for our water type matchup, because without this thing we wouldn't really have much of a defense against that. Plus this thing's a nice Will-O-Wisper and a Defogger. It can also use Nasty Plot for a especially offensive Mon if we needed it. So that's why we picked Rotom. Up next was actually Volcanion, and Volcanion was picked because of its fire-water typing and water absorb. And water absorb's important because it's a water resist, the only water resist on the team. Again, for the water type matchup. Plus this thing's a nice defogger, kind of the same reasons for Rotom, except for different typing and whatnot. This thing is also pretty bulky, and I've never used Volcanion, so why not try to use it here? Have you had fun with Volcanion so far?
I have. I'm a fan of Volcanion so far. We shall see.
And then after that, it was actually pretty easy to pick the rest of our Mons, because I think the only things that were on our team that could be sniped were those two, because no one picked Steel, no one picked Fighting, no one picked Ground. One person picked Normal, but we were going to go before the Normal player because of the Snake Draft, and no one picked Flying. But no one picked the Dark either, and originally we had other Pokemon. So then after that, we had Heatran, Cinderace, Darmanitan, Blaziken, Torkoal, Torracat, Pyroar. Charizard used to be Houndoom. And then Camerupt used to be Moltres. So that was basically the draft right there for us. We'll go ahead and go through why we picked what we picked. Starting off with Heatran. So Heatran, nice fire steel type. I wanted another form of rocks besides obviously Torkoal, because who picks a fire team without your Sunset or Torkoal? This thing's also pretty nice. It can be used as a special attacker or some type of a wall. Flash Fire's nice, just in case. I don't know. No one should really be using fire moves against us, but Flame Body is nice because, you know, we can have a chance to burn things. So far, this thing has been doing lots of nice stuff for us lately, so it's definitely not a bad pick at all. Despite what the power ranking says about how Heatran doesn't belong in a fire team, which, I mean, I guess, but... Again, never used Heatran, really, so why not? Cinderace is up next, and this thing is like a must on a fire team since it's very fast, very strong. It's got the move Court Change, so you can change around hazards if we want to, which Stealth Rock really bites us right in the ass with fire because we're weak to rock. So we need as much hazard removal as we can possibly get. That's Cinderace. So we already talked about Rotom, Heat, and Volcanion. Darmanitan is another big, booming, powerful thing. Nice speed stat in 95, especially with the Choice Scarf. Attack is 140, and in the sun, this thing's Flare Blitzes are just monstrous. It'll take down basically everything you toss in front of it unless it resists, and even then, it's not a pretty sight. Blaziken was also picked because of hazard removal, because it has access to Defog. It also has 2 new moves from Pokemon Home, which are Close Combat and U-Turn. U-Turn's great for the switch initiative, and Close Combat is a better stab to have around than High Jump Kick, and I don't know what other fighting move it got besides that. I think it was really just High Jump Kick. That was actually good. Yeah. This thing got nice moves there. It's kind of slow in 80, but again, with the Choice Scarf, it's not too bad. Plus 120 attack is nothing to really laugh at. We can't laugh at it.
I find that as a challenge. Thank you very much.
We can't use Speed Boost because, unfortunately, that is banned, but for good reason. I mean, this thing is Ubers because of it. And then we have a 110 special attack, which we could potentially use if we so wanted. Torkoal, again, beefy boy. We got Drought in Generation 7, which made this thing so much better. It's got access to rocks as well as rapid spin, so it's another removal aspect of the team. This thing is just bulky, sits in front of the team for days. It's a nice mon to have, 100%. I'll skip Camerupt for now and go into Torracat. This thing is not Incineroar, but I thought that it is a pretty good low-tier replacement. This thing has access to Intimidate like its daddy Incineroar. Plus, it's got a better speed stat than Incineroar, so we can potentially do faster Intimidate, Parting Shot, make our opponents just... It's the saboteur of the team if you played Final Fantasy 13 and know that term.
I haven't.
Well, it means we debuff our opponents. Plus, it's got Will-O-Wisp, so this Torracat here is definitely going to be good when it comes to supporting the rest of the team, making sure that we don't die in one hit to stuff. Pyroar is next. We wanted a ghost immunity on the team, and the only one that we could really pick is Pyroar. This thing is not very good besides an okay speed, not an okay speed stat, it's an above average speed stat of 106. 109 special attack is not too bad as long as it's boosted by something. And it's got some interesting abilities, and Unnerve, I guess we can make things not eat their Oka berries for the fire moves, and Moxie, which isn't great because like the 68 attack stat, the only way Moxie is actually going to be useful is if we already have 3 kills on this Pyroar. I don't know, we just wanted something else in a lower tier because that's all we could pick from having lots of big boys on the team. Oops. Yeah. And so originally Charizard was Houndoom, Mega Houndoom, because of solar power and the fact that it's a dark type. Dark type is a nice thing to have on draft, but because I kind of miscalculated points, we ended up switching Camerupt and Moltres, Moltres and Houndoom for Camerupt and Charizard. Charizard's another mon that has Drought, plus look at this big ol' special attack stat of 159. 100 speed's not bad at all. This thing has nice special attacks as well, has access to the Solar Beam for those Water-type matchups as well as the Rock-type matchups. it's just a great mon to have overall. Plus, its 104 attack stat is not something to really. I mean, you could potentially see a physical Charizard Y, even though it's usually what X does. But you know,
Great explanation.
you know, this thing's been very useful. And then we'll talk about Camerupt. This thing is just another way to have rocks. Plus, it's a ground type, so electric mons can't just come in and do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah.
We don't really have Trick Room on this team, unfortunately, but I think Camerupt is something that can eat up hits and dish them back out, so long as they're not water type hits. So yeah, that's the team. Do you have anything else to add? I know I've talked a lot because I kind of know more. That's fine. She's our battler and I'm our builder, and together we're a good team. That's all that matters. So our first match will be up against the... I just remember it's DASA. I think it's like the Oklahoma Septiles or something.
And what's our team name?
Oh yeah, our team name is a combination of our two teams. She's the coach of the Sweet But Psyduck from PDL and GTS and other leagues. And as you guys know, we're repping the Chicago White Sox since the beginning of the channel. And we just mashed it together to make the Chicago Sweet But psy-awks.
Yeah.
Because we're cute.
Yeah. And I'm from Chicago. He is not, so he's being a little bit of a poser, but that's fine. I'm not mad about it. Finally have a Chicagoan on a Chicago Pokemon team.
Well, you know what? I thought my team name was very clever. Damn it. Anyway, like this video if you have not already. Subscribe if you're new here and you want some more of this SnowyKurama goodness, as well as the Destiny goodness. Tickle that bell so you know what we're doing. You'll see our Week 2 match as soon as it's edited and whatnot. And with all that being said and more, this has been your boy, SnowyKurama. See you in the next video. Goodbye.
Goodbye.